Hi, my name is Rabia and welcome back to my channel and a brand new video. This is actually a really exciting video for me because this is part of a new video series I am thinking about doing on my channel called Makeup in Movies, and I am going to be giving you my opinions and a mini kind of review on a movie I just watched while doing my makeup. So this was actually really inspired by a movie I just watched yesterday. It is called Bombshell. It stars Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, Margot Robbie, amongst a lot of other great and amazing talented actors and actresses. And it follows the storyline of Gretchen Carlson and Megyn Kelly through like the phenomenon, the bombshell that was the Fox News replacement of their head, Roger Ailes, due to sexual harassment allegations. And I wanted to talk about this movie because I thought it was a really important movie to kind of discuss and to be watched, and kind of I also wanted to give my opinions on it. And I thought that it would be great for me to kind of go over that while doing my makeup. So this movie, again, because it is based on news anchors, it kind of inspired me to create this really high definition photography, movie friendly makeup look. Also, subscribe to the channel and share with a friend. And with that, you guys, if you would like to see how to get this high definition makeup look and also my thoughts on the Bombshell movie, just keep on watching. Okay, so we're starting off the makeup look with clean skin. I've cleaned and toned my skin. And so the thing that you have to remember about like really good like makeup that's meant for photography and meant for filming, it's going to be a little bit heavier than your everyday makeup. So we really want to prep the skin properly. So I'm going to go in with the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Mask. And I'm going to use this as my primer as well as like a little bit moisturizing, just because we are going to go in with quite a bit of makeup, as you're going to see. So what I wanted to start off with about the movie is I felt like this was a really necessary movie right now. Like with the Me Too movement, like I feel like it seems more so like media wise, like I feel like with like Harvey Weinstein and this Roger Ailes guy and Bill O'Reilly, it just seemed like something that's happening on a larger scale. Like I felt kind of unattainable as like a smaller person dealing with like workplace harassment, which unfortunately I feel like is a lot more common, and a lot of victims don't speak out about like their abuse and harassment issues. So I felt like this movie was really necessary at this time specifically. Now I'm going to go in with the Farsali Skin Tune Blur Elixir and put that right where my larger pores are, because I want to fill in those pores. Like we want to look as close to perfect as possible, especially because high definition and like the camera can pick up a lot of like the imperfections the naked eye doesn't see. So I'm just going to tap this into my skin. Like I do kind of rub a little, but mostly it's to push this into my pores. I really think Charlize Theron like killed acting as Megyn Kelly. Like I feel like she did such a good job like mimicking her mannerisms, mimicking like the way she speaks, and even like down to like her makeup was crazy how much they made her look like Megyn Kelly, and I really enjoyed seeing that. Like I think the art of re-identifying with a character or with like an actual person, because she has to, Megyn Kelly is like alive right now, so like the person you are acting like is going to be critiquing your reenactment of them. So I feel like one, it's a really like ballsy for her to do that, and two, I think she did a really good job bringing the entertainment aspect of the movie, of like me being in awe of her acting, as well as being pretty sincere to the character. Okay, so like I said, there's going to be a lot of like layers to the makeup look. So first I'm going to go in with the Pat McGrath foundation. This is the Skin Fetish foundation, and I use it in the shade medium 17. And I'm just going to, you can see I'm having a few little breakouts, and I want to just do like a light hydrating layer because this is a little bit lighter on the skin. So I feel like this will kind of help cover up these breakouts and add like an extra layer without being too heavy. So I'm just going to pack this on with the brush. This is a Morphe M439, and just I really liked the way that the movie was directed. I liked the way that the storyline moved. In terms of just like the dialogue, the way it was filmed like a newsroom. So I kind of felt like it really did seem authentic to how a journalist like Gretchen Carlson and Megyn Kelly would want their life kind of narrated. It was very like factual, but then kind of giving their opinions at a few times because like there's points in the movie where they like directly look at the camera, say something that you know is meant as a side note to the audience, and then they go right back into the scene that they're in with their coworkers. I am just going to really quickly kind of try to cover up a little bit of my dark circles, like super slightly, with this orange concealer from LA Girl. And I like to work that in with a brush. Now I'm going to go in with actual coverage with a foundation, and for that I'm going to be using the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation. I'm in the shade 3.7. I'm going to push this foundation into the skin pretty vigorously with a Beauty Blender. Like, I'm really pushing this in just because, again, I feel like cameras can catch a lot of like your pores and imperfections. So this isn't meant to be like light coverage. I am pushing this coverage into the skin. So another thing I really liked about the movie is the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it. I mean, I feel like it's like a real life story, so everyone kind of has somewhat of an idea of how it ended. But I really liked, I guess, more so the commentary of the movie. I feel like it's scary, like going up against someone really powerful, whether it's your boss, whether it's like a more dominant person in, like your family and society. Like, it's really hard to call somebody out when you feel like you are like the underman in the situation. And I feel like this movie really shows how strength and power can't compete with like what is right and what is the truth and what a human being deserves. Like, I feel like it really gives people the confidence to like speak up, because obviously in this situation this was a reporter that kept getting like tossed around and was put in a hostile work environment, and as well as dealing with harassment, like of physical nature. And it kind of goes through the story of three people, like Margot Robbie's character, Charlize Theron's character, and Nicole Kidman's character. And Nicole Kidman's character and Charlize Theron's character are based on real people, so Gretchen Carlson and Meg Kelly. Margot Robbie is a made-up character, kind of to signify the voice of multiple people. So she's not actually, it's like she didn't exist in real life, so she is part of like the fictional nature of the movie. I feel like I really liked the three different perspectives of women and just feeling at certain points like helpless, and that you aren't gonna be believed, or you're not gonna get like the respect that your issue deserves. And I feel like it kind of rushed through the fact of like that fear of, dang, like I said something that I might get in trouble for, and then, but it's true, like you might be scared, it might be hard in the beginning, but if you're telling the truth and if you're in the right and if you endured any kind of like wrong, it is really important for you to come out and like say your truth. And I feel like this movie did a really good job of kind of making somebody that might be going through that feeling empowered. And while I was talking about that really heavy stuff, I did just really quickly go ahead and conceal with the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer, and this is in the shade Natural Beige. It's all just about like outsmarting like your abuser, your bully. Like, there's a part in the movie, I wish I remember the line because it really, like, I don't remember like exact words, but in the movies that the person who is playing the Roger Ailes character, who is that person at Fox that did a lot of the abusive behavior, says like defines his understanding of a bully. And he's a bully in the situation. He says like a bully is just someone that has power using their power on like someone that has lesser power, something along those lines. It's not the exact line, and it kind of shows you how people justify their actions. Also, it kind of shines light on the fact that certain things you think are being solved, but they're just being solved to save face. Like they're not being solved out of genuine like feeling of responsibility, which sucks, but I mean, as long as the world knows the truth, it's the truth. So I really enjoyed kind of like how the movie ended, and it ended like, I feel like not a cautionary tale, like a tale of how to get it done. Um, I am cream contouring right now. This is a LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the shade Beautifully Bronzed. Yeah, I'm gonna blend out this contour with a brush, kind of pushing it upwards. Another great, I guess, like part in the movie was kind of seeing the camaraderie between women. So they talk about in the movie how in like the entertainment industry, you're meant to compete with one another. Like you want to be in this situation, the best reporter, the best news person. Like you're made to feel like you're in constant competition with your coworkers or your colleagues, and even though that they say like that we are in competition, like the characters amongst themselves, I kind of like that at the end, like for what was right, they all came together. And I look like a crazy person right now because like I blend this out, but again, it is really dramatic makeup. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out any lines I might have underneath of my eyes, and I'm going to set that. I'm using the Laura Mercier powder, and I just want to push that underneath of my eyes. This is really great powder for, kind of making you look airbrushed and flawless, but it also photographs really well as an additional step. Just underneath of my eyes, I'm using, this is the Anastasia Banana Setting Powder. I'm just taking whatever I have in the lid, and just for additional added brightness, I'm just gonna pack this on as well underneath of my eyes and just down the center of my face. And I'm using my Sephora. This is the Micro Smooth Baked Face Compact in the shade Deep. It's kind of like a powder foundation in a deeper shade. I feel like this looks really natural on the skin. Obviously right now we're not going for a natural look, but if I were to just use it, it kind of looks natural because it's meant to be a skin tone, like a deep skin tone. So I feel like it translates on the skin beautifully because this is an actual skin tone. And I'm just going to hit that everywhere. I cream contour. I am really quickly going to fill in my brows. I do want my brows to be a little bit more defined than my usual everyday looks. I am going to go in with this iconic London Sculpt and Boost eyebrow cushion. Kind of more liquidy, like you push in the product with a brush and it fills out. I only like doing this like when I'm filming or like I know I'm gonna take pictures because it is really good at defining your brows, but in person it does just look a tad like if you use too much, like it looks pretty harsh, but this like makes your eyebrows photograph phenomenal. Like it won't get lost in any light. To blend out everything a little bit, because right now you can really see the contour and the highlight difference, I'm going to go in with this Laura Mercier Candlelit Powder. This is in the shade 5, and kind of just buff it really lightly all over my skin just to kind of get everything to still be like pretty, like keep the highlight where the highlight is and the contour where the contour is, but to kind of just ease out the lines between them. I'm going to hit my face with some blush. I'm using the NARS blush in this shade Dolce Vita, and this is when you can go pretty heavy with the blush because blush is kind of what disappears first with a lot of light. We're going to be using the Tati Beauty Volume 1 Textured Neutrals palette, and I'm going to go in and work on defining my crease first, and for that I'm going to use the shade Soothe Matte. I'm just going to start building my crease with that. Well, next I just wanted to really quickly touch on what I, as a normal just moviegoer, did not like so much about the movie. The first thing I wanted to talk about was Margot Robbie's character. So Margot Robbie's character is a fictional character in this story. At least that's what I think I've read. It's not based on just like one person. I think she's supposed to be like a contemplation of multiple women in the story, in like this actual real life story. And she's the millennial, so she's the younger one. She's really ambitious. She's very like a go-getter and all of these things that I feel like a lot of us millennial women can appreciate. And then I feel like with her, she seems like the cautionary tale in this whole story. Like, how much are we willing to bend what we think is right, what makes us uncomfortable, and all of that to get to what we think we deserve. I go into the movie not really knowing the flow of what actually happened in actual events. It's really hard to keep up with the timestamps, and it comes up as short little brackets on like the corners of the page of like where you are, like July 2018, June 2016, and it kind of jumps around in time frames like that, which I know to really understand the movie, you have to understand like the beginning, the middle, the end, go back to the middle to understand the end. Like, I understand there's time jumps like that, but if you're not paying attention, it's really hard to, because it's not chronological, which I feel like, again, a lot of stories, they are. They tell you about what's happening right now, jump into the past, jump into a different part of the past. Like, I understand that's how, like, journalism and narrating works, but it was really hard for me at certain points to know when exactly something was happening. And because while they were doing that time stamping, they still were jumping back and forth in time to kind of capture what was happening. Like, if as though if I'm talking to you right now about something in the past and they go back in the past to show it and then they come back. It was like just a little bit confusing trying to like really navigate everyone's story. But and like the time frame it all fell into. So that was just a little bit off-putting, and I feel like it wouldn't be off-putting if they weren't time stamping it. Like, I kept feeling like there was something important happening that I just was like completely missing. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Ritual right here in that same Tati palette, and I'm gonna go in with a pretty flat brush, and I'm going to pack this like on my lower lash line, stop midway through. So I stopped like right here and drag it back up and kind of give myself like a faux, like a, I guess like an eyeshadow wing with this. I go in to the black in the palette, the memory shade, the matte black, and I'm just going to even more tightly kind of pack this. But this is going to stay completely on this outer V. Like, I'm not going to drag it in at all, though, as much as I did with the brown shade. This is just basically going to cup the outside of my eye so that it just brings all of the attention on that outer corner. Okay, and then if you wanted to leave it like this and keep it pretty matte, you can do that. But I am just going to go in with a little bit of shimmer, and I'm just going to go into this Soothe, I think this is the metallic Soothe shade right here. And I'm just going to tap this where I have open space. I feel like matte makeup is what photographs really well, just because, you know, there's no way for you to, for like a matte to shine the wrong way in the light, but a shimmer just kind of cancels out any lines or things in your eyelids. And this, because it moves with the light, I feel like gives the effect that your eyes are a little bit bigger than what they might actually be. So now to highlight, I am going to be using a really flimsy like a crease brush, just because, again, I don't want to put any product where I don't want it. So it's very intentional placement, just so that, again, when you like are turning, if you are talking, if you are doing anything in the picture, like that, it will be where you want it to be and not kind of like more so diffuse. So I am going to be using the Artist Couture highlighter, and this is in the shade Honey Drip. I don't want to open it because it's actually kind of broken, so it falls out of the pan. This is a For Less ME3 brush. I'm just going to hit this right in this little curve of my like cheekbone, like the tops of my cheekbone, and then I'm just going to really lightly diffuse it on the high point of my brow. Just hitting it on this right in the center of the nose and then on the tip of the nose. I'm also just going to really lightly hit it right on my cupid's bow, a little bit right here on the chin just to catch the light. To outline our lips with the LA Girl Ultimate Lip Liner, this is in the shade Keep It Spicy, and I'm just going, this is just to define the lips. It's pretty natural colored. I know I've been saying this whole time, like we're going to keep the skin and everything really matte just because it photographs really well, but the lips is one thing you want to have some kind of sheen too. And now I'm going to go in with a ColourPop Luxe lipstick, and this is in the shade California Love or CA Love. This is a really comfortable matte formula, but it still has a sheen. So I think it's called like a velvet blur lipstick. Another thing I've just noticed with news anchors is they always have a gloss, I think, again, just to fill in those lines on your lips. So I am going in with the Dose of Colors Desi X Katy over the top gloss. I'm just going to pop this on the center of my lip. Okay, you guys, and that completes this makeup look. I really hope that you guys enjoy this. This makeup will, I can guarantee, look good under any lighting, whether you're taking a black and white picture, a fully HD picture if you're filming. It will look good no matter what. So if you do recreate this look, please make sure to let me know in the comments down below, or you can always tag me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @RabsBeauty. And I really I hope that you guys enjoyed like my opinions about this Bombshell movie. If you do watch it, please let me know what you thought about the movie in the down bar. If you haven't watched it, I really do think it's worth a watch. I feel like this movie really, I feel like it just empowered me in a way to like understand my responsibility to victims and like to people that like for me to report situations that I feel like are wrong if someone isn't strong enough to come out themselves and say it, or to stand up with somebody that has the bravery to call out wrong behavior with a more powerful being. And especially as women, like we really need to start standing with one another. Like I'm really grateful that there is like this whole social movement towards women empowering other women, not competing with one another. And it needs to keep going, and I think this movie is 100% worth the watch. I think the acting was phenomenal in this movie. I think it wasn't too long of a movie. It was really captivating, and it told a great story. So if you do watch it, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have watched it, let me know what you thought. And let me know if you guys would want to watch more videos like this. If like I do kind of want to do these on Mondays. So like my movies and makeup, like kind of do a makeup look and review a movie that is new in theaters. So if you guys did like this idea and have a movie you would like for me to review or just give my opinions on, leave it in the comments down below as well. And yeah, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Bye.